Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. Hope you're doing well. I've got a very serious, little bright out here, warning about the price of silver. I want to talk about it. And this is happening as silver is tapping an all-time high. That is right. This morning we saw an all-time high in silver. And I couldn't be more excited, but at the same time, I couldn't be more serious about this warning, all right? We're going to talk about the dollar. We're going to talk about silver. I want to remind you, today is the last day for the sale on the crypto cash flow system course. If you want that, the link's down below. I'm very happy that so many of you listened about here. I'm going to pull this out a little bit. It's bright. It's like I'm right in between like the shadows and the light. So let's step into the light. When I speak about how happy I am that so many tens of thousands of people, when I started my YouTube channel, went out and bought silver at $14, $20, $25, I couldn't be more excited. But as silver hit the $30 mark, I don't know if a lot of you remember this, but I said, I'm done buying silver. There was this top in my mind, and I said, I'm now going to swap to crypto. It's now time to change into that season of crypto. And no joke, tens of thousands of people followed, and they kept their silver, they kept their stash, and they moved into a new asset class. And since then, those people have seen their wealth increase 100, 200, 300%. But here's the deal. There's about to be another shift coming, right? Because this silver is the basis of wealth. Gold and silver is God's money, right? Type 1 if you agree with that. You can't replicate it. It's finite and it's going to be gone someday. There's only so much on this earth. It's extremely valuable. But here's the problem. This is the warning. Now, just so you guys know, I'm sure everyone here probably knows, I believe in Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, right? And I'm not here to preach to you, but God made this. Well, if I believe in Jesus Christ, I also believe in Satan. And the thing is, the devil doesn't want you knowing that this is God's money. The devil created fiat currency. It has all these satanic symbols all over it. And there's a war going on over the value of this. So I do believe that you're going to see a downturn. I think that you could see a 50, 51, maybe a $52 silver shoot. It could maybe even hit 55, and it'll cause a euphoria. But I believe also that it's going to be a downward spiral in the price of this. It's easily manipulated when you run the stock markets to be able to naked short, throw a bunch of fake shares of paper silver on the market and flood the market with silver, okay? I remember buying a monster box with cash from my tractor flipping business back in 2010. I paid $25,000 for a monster box of silver. I still have that today, to this day. I never sold it when it went all the way down to what, $11 during the lows, or $14, wherever that low was. And it was the greatest reminder to never buy at the top. Now, my warning is that I don't think that people should be buying physical silver right now. And I'm going to tell you what, and I tried shooting a call to a couple buddies of mine that run large silver production companies, and I would ask them, and I wanted to ask them today, hey, how's business? And I guarantee you they say, oh, it's amazing, it's great. They don't remember what it was like. And I'm here to tell you, I believe that 2010 was a much bigger mania when silver was this price than it is right now. And the reason why I know that is because driving by all of the gold and silver shops right now, I don't see a line. But in 2010, there were lines out the door. There were, at the small mom and pop gold and silver stores, there was only a little bit of silver in the case, and a lot of people were completely sold out. Let me ask you this real quick, because I want to see this live right now. And so many of you have probably been in your gold and silver shop lately, and I want you to do this. Type yes or no if you go into a gold and silver shop and you see silver available for sale. You can just walk right in. Type yes or no. And I want to get your reaction, because I think this is incredibly important for people to realize this. I'm seeing some yeses. Okay, a lot of yeses. Perfect. So right now, I think what is happening is you're seeing a squeeze in the price, but humans aren't reacting the same as they were in 2010. Okay? There's plenty. Look at everybody answering right now in the comment section. There is plenty of silver in all the silver shops, right? I'm also not seeing the elevated excitement online. I just called a buddy, a subscriber that has become a friend of mine. I don't know if I'm supposed to say his name, but he's got a channel And it's World Money Wins, right? And I asked him, like, how are your silver videos doing? He's, oh, they're good. I'm like, yeah, but are they like higher in views than they are, in recent years? Nope, not really. And I'm like, I don't think that we're in the mania yet. Now, that doesn't mean that I believe that the price is going to go shooting off to $75, $100 right now. And I want to be very clear. I believe that the price of silver one day will be equal to the price of gold. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm going to be right. But I don't believe that's right now. I actually believe with a little bit more push in the price of silver, you're going to see it smack down because the powers that be have to do that. The reason why, it's not only, you'll see a lot of YouTubers talk about it, like it would, oust the fall of the US dollar because dollar price in silver would be falling and dollar and gold is falling, right? Dollar versus gold is collapsing. Gold just tapped 4,000 or past it actually. That's exciting, right? But it's silver. Silver is what paid for Jesus Christ's life. It was the bounty paid, right? There's a lot of spiritual significance in that. And another thing too is that, and the reason why I'm telling you, and I'm not telling you to run out and sell your silver, right? I think that holding some physical silver, like I don't hold that much anymore because of what I do for a living, and I find it easier to vault it. But as you have your basis, this is, I believe, the cornerstone of any wealthy person is precious metals, okay? Throughout the last century, any good money manager, and I'm talking about 99% of them, would say that you should have a 10% allocation into gold and silver, precious metals in case of a crisis, because all throughout history, that's shown that 10% allocation into precious metals, when there's a downturn in equities or bonds, then that precious metal price would rise and it would save your portfolio, right? Well, spiritually, I believe this is the basis for all wealthy people because they're holding God's money as the cornerstone, okay? So that's why I don't think it's a buy or sell. However, there's nothing wrong with how many of you went out and bought silver or bought gold and you're seeing yourself wealthier than you've ever been and taking some of that and selling it to go into another asset class, okay? But right now, I do not think that is the time, okay? Because what's happening is you're seeing this divergence of reality from speculation, and there's a massive divergence of reality going on right now. If COVID taught us anything, it was who you can and can't trust based off of personal beliefs or people that are so easy to be persuaded. Guys, you type 1 if you believe that, right? Now, when you think about it that way, and you start to think, okay, silver's hitting 50, there's not lines out the door like there were in 2010 or 1981, right? There's plenty of silver in all the silver shops, yet that price is high. Then what I'm here to tell you is that this is a fake high, okay? This is I believe, a trap. And if you'll be a little more patient, you're going to see another run up in crypto. And I put out a post on X about 7 months to a year ago. And I stated that was probably 7 months ago, something like that. And this is why it was pretty recent. I said, when Bitcoin hits $150, $150,000, silver will be 35 bucks. And a lot of people mocked that comment. And they said, haha, you're already wrong. You don't even know it because silver's over 35 bucks. And I said, to one person, I said, well, and you'll see these comments come out later on X when they get reposted. I said, well, I don't think you understand that markets don't always go up. And the cool thing about physical silver is since you didn't go take out any debt, hopefully you didn't take out any debt to go buy it, and you own it physically, if it drops in price, does it matter? Will it change your life? Not if you don't let it, right? Because you have it somewhere. When silver went from $50 down to, in 2010, like 49 and change, and it went all the way down to what, 14 year over year, just this slow burn. It was the first time in my life that an asset that I bought had went down in price, and I couldn't be more excited about it. It was the first time. My monetary DNA had changed forever because I'd found real true value. And that's what this is. And that's why it's really important that when I'm telling you, I believe that you're going to maybe see a few more days of upside. and you're going to see one heck of a downturn. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's gonna flush out a lot of silver investors and put a foul taste in their mouth. But I'm here to tell you, there's a day where this is going to shoot off, and I believe that there are Bitcoin holders, crypto holders around the world that are poised that when Bitcoin hits a specific number, and I know this is going to sound crazy, I'm going to tell you this now. Go ahead and clip it and save it for prosperity. But I believe this. I believe you're going to see a blow off top in Bitcoin that's going to go well above 150. And then it's going to start crashing down. Okay, now stick with me on this thing. It's going to start crashing down. And it's not going to crash because Bitcoin's valueless. It's because the world markets are going to start reeling. Stock market's in a downturn. The silver is going to downturn. Gold's going to downturn. Everyone's going to be running to cash, right? They're going to do this and set this up so that cash looks like it's still the king. And when Bitcoin starts coming down off of its highs and it hits 150, I'm pulling the trigger personally, and I'll be doing it on this channel live, where I'm going to convert a good sum of my crypto into physical silver to have it set aside in vaults. And I'm saying to this now because a man is only good as his word, right? If he keeps his word or he doesn't. But also, when you could go back into time, because a lot of people have freaked out over some of my predictions, right? And 80% of them have already happened. The other 20, I don't think people think long enough in long terms. It's important to have these timestamps on these videos, because then you could go back and say, look, I showed you this. Now it's not about who's right or wrong. Well, it sort of is, but let's worry about what's coming next. And this is how we're going to finally take this over. When the crypto holders convert their crypto into precious metals, it will cause a squeeze. You won't see any physical. As a matter of fact, when this event happens, and I believe this is going to happen in the next 12 months, I could be wrong, but I feel like it's coming quick. You won't find silver in the shops because the shops will be accepting Bitcoin for their silver. That's going to it probably sounds crazy to you. Type yep if you think that sounds crazy to you. But I'm telling you right now, I think that's going to happen. And it's going to be exciting because a lot of you have watched this channel for the last 4 years and you bought silver, you bought gold, then you switched and you moved into crypto. You kept your gold and silver, you moved into crypto, you've made a lot of money, and I couldn't be more proud of you. But then what's going to happen is we squeeze that silver market, and that will happen. And we can already help a lot of people right now with the wealth we've made. I can't even imagine what's going to happen next. So I'm very excited about this. Just so you guys know, I have made a decision to start speaking again and going around the country and speaking at events. I'm going to be speaking mainly at crypto events because I want to be on the cutting edge of finance and where all the money is flowing. But yeah, I'm very, very excited. I've already been blackballed on all the gold and silver shows anyway because I started talking about crypto. That's okay. It's all right. We're all richer. I hope you got something out of this. If you want to learn about crypto cash flow right now and how to build a cash flowing portfolio while you sleep and while you're awake, links down below. It's the last day of the sale. Hope you have an awesome day. The Economic Ninja, woo, it's bright, is out.